All right. Our general evaluator, she told that we can start ahead with the meeting. She will be joining. I mean, I think she's trying to join, having some trouble there. We are good to go. Kudusji, you can start. You're muted, Kudusji.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmasters guest. Welcome to the Club 257 meeting. We have good news last week from the government that the people who are stranded in India, they will be slowly getting the visas so they can join their families. With this positive news, we can start our meeting and think positively and plan for some good news in coming weeks and days. Mission statement, I will request our team members to follow me or repeat with me so that we get energy and we can start with this way. The mission statement is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every member of a team
every member of the team
has the opportunity to develop communication and leadership skills,
communication and leadership skills,
which in turn foster the self-confidence
which impact on
self-confidence
and positive growth.
and positive growth.
Like any meetings, we should respect the few things and etiquettes. Say, we do not, in Toastmaster, we do not talk about sex, religion, and politics. Second thing is, we should keep our mics mute and switch on as and when necessary. Now I will request to our dynamic president of the club to take it over and for the further moving on. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Rams. Thank you very much. I'll start the presidential address with welcoming two new members who has joined our club. Please welcome Toastmaster Amerta Anthony and Toastmaster Manura Jan Paul. So let's give a great warm applause for them joining our club. I would like to emphasize that our club has no longer a charter club. Today is our first trial of having hybrid club. As Senator Nam says, borders start opening, so having hybrid clubs are in office now, you can see here, it will give us more hope in the future that we will improve, that work will come normal, and we will all recover and come back. However, our meetings will always become hybrid. There will be always, we will attend an online as a base. So wherever you are in the globe, as long as you belong to Petrofac family and cultures, even if you left Petrofac, we have many members, very good members in the ExCom. Even if you leave the company, that should not impact your plan. I would remind all the members to send their education plan to our VP Education, Satish, and Secretary, Muhammadi. Each of us should have 1 year look ahead plan. In Toastmaster, we learn by practice, by taking rules. So have a plan of all the rules and speeches which you would like to deliver during the next year, based on your own pace, and share it with us so we can plan your evaluation and plan find a slot for you accordingly. Toastmaster, it's a club where there are more than 17,000 clubs around the world, and there are more than 400 thousands of members around the world. So by joining Petrofac Toastmasters, not only you can only attend with us, you can attend with any other clubs around the world. Based on your interests, we can help you to maybe reach other clubs. Some of them they're clients to us, some of them they're peers, some of them are in your own native language. In Toastmasters, we have 10+1 paths and course based on each one his own personal growth are there. So you can, as you can see, there's a dynamic leadership, persuasive influence. You want to be presenting masteries, humors, all these skills. There is a manuals and there are steps and deliveries. We need to can follow any of all this. By joining, please make sure that you know where you find yourself, whether for your career or for your own personal goal, and pick up one of these. Now I would like to see if we have any guests with us. They can introduce themselves. Let's see in the guest list. Rishikesh, can you unmute and introduce yourself?
Hi, good morning. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so good morning, Rishikesh here. I am located in Mumbai. So I am working for Petrofac Mumbai office as HSE design engineer.
Thank you very much.
So recently I got the mail from our HOD regarding this Toastmaster Club meeting. And then I thought, okay, it's anyways, it was Saturday and little less load of the work. So I just got to, check in and just join this club. So this is the first time for me. Thank you all for inviting. Thanks.
Thank you very much. We have also Shubham. Pavna, can you please unmute and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So my name is Shubham, and currently I am in Sharjah, UAE. I'm a student. My dad is a Petrofac employee, so I decided to join here to improve my public speaking skills.
Very good. Excellent. Thank you very much for being with us. I just would like to remind all of you that also your immediate family members, they all cannot join here. So please feel free to invite your wife, your kids, anybody who would like to improve on this, because this is a social club. Okay. I would like to introduce, today we have a special meeting today. I would like to introduce our speakers today. Our speaker today, she's an HSE-Manager in Petrofac. She's very enthusiastic about her own professions. She loves each and every details about her profession. She's very old in Petrofac. She's like maybe the founder of Petrofac. Since we all joined Petrofac, we knew her. And she enjoys interacting with new people. And she's very old and supportive to Toastmasters. She's very good in leading people and organizing big HSE events. I remember her for many occasions, like environmental day events, taking family to the beach, cleaning up, drawing competition, and it's countless events where she could lead and communicate with others. She's a model for us and model for women to be where leaders and communicators need to be. And I always learn something new from her. She has a Master in Environmental Science and Bachelor degree in Agriculture Science. And let's give great applause for her, Nahida Basu. So over to you, Nahida.
Good morning and good afternoon, because we might have some colleagues joining us from other parts of the world. And thanks a lot, Mohan. I think you made my day. That was really great to hear from you, because I have a great respect for you and for this club. So it's really a pleasure to be with you. So because I'm extrovert, so I can go, beyond the time. So let me know my timing. So I have 20 minutes. So that means 9:41. I should be finishing by 10. Let me share my screen with you, and if any one of you can confirm that you're able to see my screen, that would be a great help. Can anyone confirm that you're able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So today's topic, something very close to my heart, and I think for all of us, finding happiness in life. One thing we all humans have in common is that we all want to be happy. And the issue is sometimes we see the grass is greener on the other end, so we feel that sometimes, not always, that everyone around me is happy except me. But there's something important that we all want to be happy as humans. So personally, I always assumed in my life that the path of happiness is to achieve success. Let's start from the school, I have to be happy by having good grades, having a perfect career. Then it reached a stage where having a perfect, husband, and then a perfect apartment, and to the stage where the perfect school for my son. This is what was, success for me. It was not that I was not happy, but there was something inside me where I was always anxious and sometimes lost. Happiness was there, but it was fleeting. And to my surprise, I wasn't the only one who was struggling through all this. I realized some of my colleagues, some of my family members, some of my friends, they were going through all this and nobody ever discussed because we thought this is norm. But me, being the curious person, I would always ask this question to myself and even to them. Now, if you look at the moment, except from sleeping, where do we spend most of our time as adults once we start working? I'm talking about post-COVID. In offices. I've been in Petrofac last 15 years, so most of my time was there in office, either being Petrofac or wherever I was employed before. Now, when we think how much time of our life we spend on work, it quickly becomes clear that spending this time unhappy, unfulfilled, just counting the days till weekend, it's the waste of time and energy. Every Tuesday morning at 10, we have a fire alarm bell testing, and then I was like, oh, thank God the half of the week is gone. When is the weekend, so the happiness will come. When I discussed it with my friends, and some of them suggested that why don't you go on internet? It's full of advices, and there's some happiness quotes, and I did like some which says that happiness is a decision you make. And then I followed through. Nevertheless, it didn't stay longer. It didn't stay longer because something or other thing comes, and then I would totally be lost. So eventually I decided to study positive psychology. I haven't been to any college for a proper degree. I just had a few courses online, but I was studying on my own. It was a self-study. And what I discovered had a great impact on my life. The studies revealed that pursuing happiness can lead to dissatisfaction. And what struck me most was that the suicide rates has been climbing all around the world. It's reaching 30 years higher in countries like America, and even the place like where I belong to, Kashmir, a very, very small region, very beautiful. We call it paradise on earth, but the suicide rates are going high and high and high. And if you look overall, the life has improved objectively in every way. But individuals are feeling more gloomy, more miserable, and more alone. People are feeling emptiness, and they don't have to be clinically depressed. If you take these people, if I'm talking about myself, if you took me to the psychologist, I wasn't depressed. I didn't have to be clinically depressed to have those feelings. I had some of my friends who never got married. So if the criteria was getting married, having a perfect spouse, I have some of my friends who never had children. So if the criteria was like having children is the happiness which brings in your life, then don't they deserve to be happy? So, I did study about it more because I wanted to know what it is. And especially at that stage in my life, I was a mother. I didn't want to give an incomplete upbringing to my child. So I studied a bit more about it, and according to the research, it was not the lack of happiness. It is lack of something else, lack of having meaning in life. Now, however, this left me with some very, very unanswered question. Is there anything more to life than happiness? What's the difference between being content and having a sense of purpose in life? Because happiness is, many psychologists, they say that happiness is a feeling of comfort and ease at the present moment. But there's more to it than that. According to one of the very famous psychologists, Martin Seligman, he says that meaning comes from belonging to serving something larger than yourself. I wouldn't go much into that technicality, but what I did at that stage in my life is that I wanted to have a more meaningful life. And to find out that, I spent a lot of years in reading through books on psychology, books on neuroscience, books on philosophy, and some courses. But more than that, what helped me? Because I wasn't a psychologist, I didn't have so much time, because at that time in my career, I started traveling a lot for work. So any project we have in Petrofac, we talk about the project in Russia, project in Middle East, project in Algeria or Scotland, or you talk about, I had to visit those projects. That was the part of my job. Now, beside doing my own work, which was being a HSE person on the side and establishing management systems, giving trainings to the people, what I used to do in the spare time, I remember spending one of the New Year's in Algeria. We had a project in Regan. I had New Year there, so we had enough time. The day was off. So whatever I was studying, I was testing it with people. What does it mean? Like whatever I was studying, I would sit with people. I wouldn't tell them that, I'm testing you, or I would just randomly ask them questions. I would just randomly ask questions to my colleagues in Petrofac, sometimes to the people wherever we had projects, the subcontractors, whoever I met. There was a little bit of hesitance sometimes because, some people, they wouldn't answer it directly. But that was fine because they weren't obliged to, answer to me. But it was just that whatever I was studying, I was trying to relate it to people. I was trying to see if it's really true. And now just putting it all together, I discovered something which in my own terms, I call it pillars of life. I'm not saying it's a silver bullet for our happiness, but what I have felt in my life after all these years, that by erecting these or some of these pillars in our life, we all can have a life which is more meaningful, and then it automatically will become more happier. I would just, discuss with you few of the pillars. I'm telling you, I'm not a psychologist. I don't have any proper degree in psychology, but this is my life experiences. One of the pillars which I really believe in and which I think has really helped me along is the pillar of belonging. Belonging comes from being in relationships where you are valued for who you are, and where you also value others. Because unfortunately, in certain groups, in certain relationships, you have a very low form of belonging. Because in which you are valued for what you believe, what you like, what you dislike. If you go out of that box, that's it. You're not valued in that relationship. And that's sad, because you know why? The love is the source of true belonging. It exists in the moments between people and the choices we make. We can choose to build a sense of belonging with anyone. You don't have to be related. You don't have to be, knowing that person. You don't need to be. You can have that bond with anyone. I have seen myself couples who have lived together for 30 years, 40 years, but they don't have any belonging. I have seen family members living together in one roof and no belonging. This belonging, this pillar of belonging, you can have it with anyone. And why are we not able to build this pillar with everyone, even sometimes with our family? Because we are so quick in rejecting people. I will give you a very simple example which had taught me a lot. It might sound silly for some of you, but it made a lot of sense in my life. When my son started schooling, early morning, me and dad would go and drop him in the bus stop. And what dad would do, he would go 5 minutes earlier. And then later in my life, I realized why. Because when me and my siblings were going to school, we didn't have mobile phone. Our driver would not call us like, come, and what would happen? My dad would go a little bit early. And then if like sometimes we are late, he will stop the bus telling the driver that we're coming, isn't? So during when my son started school, though we had mobile phone, the driver will call us, but my dad would still go early, and I wouldn't stop him, because you should let your grandparents do what they love, because this is the love for the grandchildren they have. And what happens is it's a culture. It's a in our culture. This is a custom we have, that we always give some money every day to we call it as a charity, and in our terms we call it sadaqah. So my dad, it was not a big amount. My dad would every day give 1 or 2 dirhams to somebody, just as a sadaqah for my son. And my son being special because he's the first grandchild in our family. So. And who would he? Because it was early morning, it was around 6 o'clock in the morning every day. So we would always see this building watchman. So my dad would always give it to him, and it was for years, because we had the same watchman for years. And then whenever there was some festival, like, anything, we would call him and we'll give him food. I think we all do, people especially who live in apartments in the Middle East or in India or any part of the world, I think they can relate to it. So we had that bond, and we would know the person. He would help us sometimes. We come, from shopping. He would help us. Maybe intentionally, unintentionally, we had built the bond. But unfortunately, one day we broke his trust. And how it happened? Me and mom, we were coming back from shopping, and I don't drive. I mean, this is something different. We were coming back in taxi, and then I didn't have a change. I still remember there was 20 dirhams. So I had 15 dirhams change. I didn't have 5 dirhams. So I had 100 or 200 something, to cash. So I came down from the taxi. I was looking around somebody to help me, and he came. And he gave this 5 dirhams. He's like, I have a change. How much you want? I'm like, 5. And he kept on saying, ma'am, it's okay. And I kept on telling, I'll give you back. I'll give you back. And he was like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And as soon as my mom stepped out of the taxi, she's like, no, go and get the change and give it back to him. So unintentionally, I went to the grocery without buying something which I didn't want. I just wanted the change to give it back to the watchman, and I gave him 5 dirhams back. But when I looked in his eyes, I felt he was hurt. He was trying to do something kind, but me and my mom, we rejected it. I think we all reject people in small ways, like, without realizing it. I do. I don't know about others, but I do. I would walk by someone I know and I will barely acknowledge them. I will check my mobile phone in the lift, and when someone is talking to me. These acts devalue others. They make them feel invisible, unworthy. But when you lead with love, you create a bond that lifts all of us up. For some people, belonging is the most essential source of happiness. Those bonds to family, to friends, to strangers. You don't have to be, as I said, you don't have to be, somehow related to the person to build that bond. No, you can have this bond with anyone. One more pillar I would talk about is the pillar of purpose. Now, I don't want to give a big lecture because we all have been hearing that, find your purpose, find your purpose. It's not, finding that career that makes you happy. It's less what you want more than what you give to others. If you ask a doctor, what is your purpose? He will say, treating the sick. If you ask the parents, what is your purpose in life? They will say, raising my children. To find your purpose. But what about this? If it is all linked with our jobs, what about the people who don't have jobs? What are the people who have work disengagement? They're not connected with people at work. People struggle, they don't have something useful to do. So what would they do? We all have something, the ability to help others. It can be in any form. So find that purpose, which will be, which will give you an opportunity, which will give you that privilege to help others. And it can be anything. One more pillar I would, I don't know how to put it in words, it's a bit difficult. It is the pillar to find the superior state of yourself. And we all have it. Superior state in a very completely different way. It cannot happen every time, But when you have moments where you can find yourself superior, in a very superior state, and I'm talking about those moments when you are lifted above the hustle and bustle of daily life. Your sense of self fades away. You feel connected to the higher reality. I was talking to one of my friends, and she's an artist, and she says that she feels these moments when she sees the art. Some people they tell me that they have this when they have their connection with their creator. Some people, especially for writers, I have seen, because my mom is a poet, they have these moments you call a superior state of yourself is when they write. My mom is in totally different world when she writes, especially when she has something new coming and she's putting it down on the paper. I have found my superior states, and it gets so that in that zone that I lose the sense of place and time. And you know what? If you are able to have it, these experiences will change your life. One more is pillar which I found was helpful to make me happy was storytelling. It's strange, but if you ask somebody, who do you talk most to? It's yourself. You're always talking to yourself inside. Now you need to be a storyteller to yourself. If you tell yourself that, anything, sometimes people go to the psychologist. So that psychologists, they show them what's good in their life, how their life is perfect. They don't have to, there's a lot of positive things. You don't have to always, I'm not saying there's something wrong to go to the psychologist. If you need help, we should go, but we can be our own storytellers. We can always try to tell ourselves a story that not everything is bad in my life. You can always link it. You know how you can link it? You can link it to gratitude. This is the very strongest pillar which had helped me in my life to be happy. So take a moment to be grateful. It has the potential to influence your happiness, improve every element of your life. Living a meaningful life takes work. It's an ongoing process. And the pillars I have discussed with you, I'm not saying that they are the silver bullet, but what I felt in my life is that the more I make these pillars strong, I can totally link it. If you have been to seashore, these waves come, they hit the shore and they bounce back, but they don't disturb the bottom. The bottom is so calm, peaceful, settled. The more I work on these pillars, I feel inside me more calm, more settled, more happy. I have my days. It's not that I'm always, I go out of track. But what is the difference is I don't need a help or a support to come back to the track. I feel content. So my message would be, try to find the pillars of your life, work around them. The more you make them stronger, the more happiness will come. So you wouldn't have to look for the happiness. You don't have to find the happiness, because when do you find something? Either when you don't have it or you have lost it, isn't? So if you have these strong pillars of life, you wouldn't have to look for the happiness. It will be within yourselves. So no matter how the circumstances are, you would be happy. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you very much, Nahida, for starting and kicking off the happiness of our day and meetings. And hope we all take the steps forward in our life and meetings. Thank you very much. I would like to ask the audience if anybody would like to ask any question for our notable speaker today. Please raise your hand if you have any questions or feedback.
Sunita, yes, go ahead, Sunita. Sorry, Mohanand, I'm taking your role here now.
Hi, Nahida. No questions, but I thought it was just brilliant. Thank you so much. Just so connected to your speech and a lot of emotion involved, and it came straight from your heart. And thank you so much. It was absolutely fabulous, fantastic, really. Thanks a lot.
I would like to ask a question,
you would. Sorry, sorry to interrupt you, Barmal. I mean, I would say something. I met Mohanand yesterday evening at gym, and we just met for a few seconds at the gym, and Mohanand is like, and we met after a long time, and he's like, already. I'm like, I don't know. I just want to talk something from my heart. Trust me, Sunita. It was all my personal life experiences. Thanks a lot. I interrupted Barmal. Please go ahead, Mohan.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sunita. Muhammad, can you please unmute yourself and share your thought?
Assalamu alaikum, Nahida. So we have met many times in Petrofac when I was there. Okay, it's 1 year back. And I heard you, I've interacted with you on some other issues related to projects and everything. Maybe you might not be remembering. But the topic which you told, that this 1 dirham, 2 dirham talks, Mohana, that people know, this is my passion. See this, I feel that instead of going with the big charities and showcase and everything, people have this trend that, okay, they take selfies and during this, but if you give this small charities to the people who are every day surrounding that by us, it gives an immense pleasure to that guy and to us also. And we also feel that we have been obliged that these people are accepting our small charities also. So when I see, it's my routine that there is one Dubai municipality leader. His smile is a Bengali guy. His smile is so good. He gives me, whenever I give something, he never rejects anything. He accepts and he gives so much of duas to everybody. It makes our day. So this is a lesson which we should learn, that instead of going for a big showcase and going for a big contributions and everything, if we help those small people, it makes that day for them. And these are the most vulnerable people who are never given a due recognition. That's great. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mohammadi, for your emphasis. We'll take Kudus with us.
Good morning. Actually, I listened. It was, I believe, touching the hearts what you spoken, and I just wanted to share one thing. When you are passing and you are going to office, you have a support staff, and if you tell them when you meet them, you say "Assalamu alaikum," and with a smiling face, they get what they needed. Basically, you are not spending one penny. But the relation you build up with this makes the things very different. What you feel differently in different places. So this is the where they need your support. They need your feelings. And if you are attached emotionally or with the feelings, things is always conducive. You can work, they can work, and they will not shy away in helping you in a difficult time. And of course, any individuals, I mean, just finding a difficult time, definitely he will also try to help it out. But you have some certain bondings, definitely it makes more easy. Thank you, really touching story. What you asked.
Thank you, Abdul Kudus, for your valuable feedback. In Petrofac Toastmaster Club, we were blessed by 2 coaches, Toastmaster Deepa and Toastmaster Michael. So I would like to get Toastmaster Michael Smith with us, so to share a question or feedback. Please unmute yourself and come forward. Please unmute yourself, Michael, and can switch the camera.
Am I audible now?
Yes,
am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, audible.
Okay, good. I would like to ask our keynote speaker, how does truth fit into your model? Because many of us are taught behavior, and many of us are steered towards lifestyles and towards life goals. But the thing is, it doesn't have anything to do with truth. How does truth feature in your pillar model?
So if I understood your question correctly, what you're saying, that truth, what is the reality? Truth as what?
What I'm saying is, shouldn't truth also be an aim or goal in life? Because we chase so many goals, and it has got nothing to do with truth. It has got nothing to do with who we are and discovering who we are and what our purpose is. And what I'm talking about is not our purpose, but the purpose for us in life. So in your entire speech, I did not hear reference to truth, and I would like to understand, how does it feature in your model?
Truth is the foundation of everything what I said, because I did say that I have found these pillars. I'm not a psychologist or any. This was something I shared, few pillars. But if you look into all those pillars, truth has to be there. If there's no truth, you wouldn't be able to, when I talked about the belonging, if you're not doing it with truth, how would it work? If you're not finding your real purpose, where is with truth, you will not be able to achieve that. If you're not true to yourself, if there's no truth, how can you find that superior state of yourself? How can you have gratitude if there is no truth? So definitely, truth is the foundation. What I said is the pillars which I found. There are more to it. Everyone can have a different pillar. You don't have to have those pillars which I found, which strengthened my purpose of life and which make me more happier. But you're so right. Truth has to be there. And even to identify these pillars, if there's no truth, the pillars will fall apart.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, DTM, for your collaboration. Now, because of time, I'll take one more. Jacob John, our past president. Immediate past presidents, please come forward with question or feedback.
Good morning, Nahida. Actually, I just wanted to say hi to you. Thank you very much. It was so inspiring, and finding happiness from ourselves. Basically, today I found my happiness seeing you, your smiling face. Whenever I come to office, you know that in the lift, you give a beautiful smile. That makes my day normally. So finding happiness is, that's correct. What you said, it is from ourselves, from the small things we see around us. The thought what we have, that gives us happiness. Thank you very much. Just to say hi to you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Jacob. You made my day.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks our notable speakers. I would like to wrap up by this. These notable speakers, we always love to hear from people from HSE and come to our clubs. And I would like to remind all the guys that please, there is a volunteer in HSE videos. There is an announcement that where people can participate in videos. We as a Toastmaster, we expect it to be the better, among the volunteers and leading these HSE initiatives out there. And I would like to thank Nahida for her involvement. And Nahida, if you would like to be with us, there will be table talk sessions after sometimes. You can continue with us. If you don't have time, it's up to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and thank you all of you. I would like to stay because I have some of my colleagues who have also new to Toastmaster and they're presenting something today. I would be here, though I will be mute, but I will be with you guys. Thank you all of you, and good luck to everyone.
Thanks for being with us. Now I will move forward to introduce another leader. She's also an Iron woman, and this guy